And good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Wednesday it is, halfway through the week. Aren't you glad? Not that far off from Easter. We're telling you all about that going on. Coming up at 7, don't forget, we'll have the very latest of the information that's going on locally. Hope you'll join us to find out more about all of that. A nice day, but cooler in store today. Did I mention a high of only 69? We've had some 80s. We've had, everybody's thinking just like I am. Somebody's going to get a cold. It always happens. This back and forth on the weather, and then it'll be warm again before long. We got details on all of that in just a moment. Well, let's go out to Collinsville now. Brother Ben's going to talk about, a trip that he made. Dropped by a local cemetery. Well, it was in Kentucky, but that's sort of local. Here's Brother Ben. He'll tell us more.
When I was working on my Master of Divinity degree at the Southern Baptist Theological Seminary in Louisville, Kentucky, one of the extra credit opportunities that I had during my first Greek class was to go to the famous Cave Hill Cemetery there nearby and visit the grave of the great Southern Baptist Greek scholar A.T. Robertson. While we were there, we were also to visit the graves of the founders of the seminary, like James Pettigrew Boyce, Basil Manley Jr., and John Broadus. These men were great men of God. Now, you might not know any of those folks, but in that cemetery are buried some folks that I bet you do know, like Colonel Harlan Sanders of Kentucky Fried Chicken fame. Or how about the greatest boxer of all time, Muhammad Ali? Or General George Rogers Clark, who was such a powerful commander on the Western Front of the American Revolutionary War. They're all buried there. As I walked around Cave Hill Cemetery, their headstones were absolutely beautiful. But it later hit me. As nice as those headstones were, if I were to dig down in front of them, I would not find something beautiful. I would find something ghastly, something ugly. I would find dead men's bones. Now, Jesus warns us in Matthew 23 to be careful that we in our life don't become whitewashed tombs like those there at Cave Hill Cemetery. Whitewashed tombs look pretty on the outside, but on the inside is death and decay. So, beloved, may you be beautiful on the outside and the inside, full of life through Jesus Christ. Then you'll be able to make a difference everywhere you go. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. Brother Ben telling us about his trip there. Always good to go visit. A lot of history there. To Corey, how are you this morning? Glad to see you up and going in Louisville. Did y'all notice that he picked up on there's a Louisville, there's also a Louisville, Mississippi. It just depends on what part of the United States you're standing in as to, how you pronounce something. Mimi, how are you today? She said, I hope your equipment is fixed and ready to go on Friday. We will be here on Friday to take care of things as we look at that. I got a borrowed item since mine wouldn't work, and we're going to buy something else to make sure that never happens again. So we're ready as we get ready for Friday, the chance of severe weather. We'll look at that in just a moment and see what the outlook holds for. As we look about this, as we've seen this many, many, many times, there's a lot of folks that parents have companies and, you have one sibling that jumps in and really works hard to make that business grow better. Then there's the other one that sits at home and drinks coffee and eats foo-foo food all day and never helps. And they think that one day they should get half of everything. Judge didn't see it that way. I guess they call it a Harris. Is that how they call that? An heiress? Harris? How does it work? Yeah, I'm mispronouncing it, I'm sure. But a billionaire had a little company that was nothing in 1969, and his son joined him. They turned it into a multi-million-dollar company. Got time to sell, and daughter wanted it all after the brother. And the judge said, nope, you're not getting billions, and he gave her $40 million. Now the rest of us would think $40 million is a lot. She wanted tons and tons more. She didn't get it. She didn't work hard. Very few times that you see that in life, isn't it? As we look around, let's see what else is happening here. Are y'all familiar with a dentist who had the bankruptcy problem, committed murder? Boy, lost all of his money in the crypto. There's a lot of people that invested money in the crypto. They lost a lot, and then they turned to a life of crime, like this guy. Try to get an insurance policy off someone. Shame, shame. You'll never get through the gates doing things like that. Now, one thing that I want to pay close attention to, and I need to do more reading on this. Have you been watching the headlines and the different aspects of what's being said of what happened in Nashville? The kids, the principal, the janitor was killed at a Christian school. There are so many, and it breaks my heart to even have to say this. As we look around at the way some news media handles this, and I don't have it pulled up in front of me, we'll look at this at 7 o'clock this morning. Some are saying the left side, had they prayed harder, maybe it wouldn't have happened there. Can you believe that thought would even enter someone's mind to say something like that? Tragedy, and they try to turn it into something else. Truly, that breaks my heart. I hate to even have to say things like that. But I want to touch base on that as we get further into this morning. I forgot the article, but we'll talk about it this morning, coming up at 7. Hope you'll join us for all that. I'm Scotty Ray. Good morning. We'll be right back to check that forecast. The Precast Group, offering you the best selection when it comes to a storm shelter. Located on 145 South in Meridian, where they offer above-ground shelters that can be installed in your home as you're built in, are conveniently located right outside your home if it's already built. They also offer storm shelters that can be installed in a slight bank or on flat ground. Protect your family today with a very affordable storm shelter from the Precast Group. Highway 145 South, 601-482-0003. The Precast Group. And welcome back. All right, let's get into our forecast this morning, find out. And hadn't the guys at EMEPA, Mississippi Power, and all these other folks been doing wonderful jobs? They have. We've seen the cavalry go through yesterday and cut trees out of the road. We couldn't even pass the road that I live on. It was that way for a couple of days there. 100% of the power is back on, doing a fantastic job. Just a thank you to everyone that was involved in that. We'll show some pictures and talk about that a little bit more also coming up at 7 this morning.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we look at our forecast, here we go. Today's record high was set in 1974. It was 88 degrees. Wow, 74. Today's record low was set in 1955. It was 27 degrees. A chilly day it was. Had a lot of cool cars coming out that year, though. Partly sunny today, a high of only 69. We go from 80 to 69. And don't worry, it's coming back. It's going to be warmer, but a change of the weather. 67 in Columbus and also at Mississippi State as we go back over toward beautiful Natchez down the Mississippi River. About the same, 69. Let's go over to Paul Bryant territory. I can't get it out. Blah, 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 blah. I'm getting it there. I guess we're going to have to rename that Nick Saban territory, aren't we? Is he getting bigger than Bear Bryant?
He better not. He'll get.
No, I'm getting negatives in the room there. You can't beat Bear Bryant. So let me back up on that. Tuscaloosa 70 down to Demopolis. We'll see 69 as well. Even over at Montgomery, Hank Country, 70 degrees today. As we start looking at what is coming on Friday. Now this is the lines that we've got in Neshoba County. The northern portion of the county from the city limits of Philadelphia north is a level 2 at this point. That takes in all of Winston County, Louisville, Columbus, and these areas back over near Carthage and areas. Northward, as we get into the Mississippi Delta, we're showing a level 3 of storm intensity. Now, anywhere from Kemper County and south of Philadelphia through House, Tucker, Newton, over in Forest, and even in Jasper and Clark counties, we're looking at a level 1. But today is Wednesday. That's going to be coming up on Friday. We never can tell. Mother Nature changes like she done last week within an hour or two. So that's what happened. So we're watching this very closely. Get back with us, and we'll make sure that you have the absolute latest. Now, this is what we're showing on winds. Philadelphia, you're going to get it. That lawn furniture and all those trampolines could be affected by this storm. Even northwestern Kemper County out around, let's say, call it Cypress Mills, northward into Noxubee County will have this. All of Winston, we see there in Columbus, those areas will be. South, the wind's not as bad. Let's hope it stays that way. As we look at the Alabama side of things, here's the, I just can't make it stay still, can I? Here's the outlook on that. And again, they're predicting a little bit further south of the level 2, so this could change for the Mississippi side. As we'll see that through Birmingham, Tuscaloosa, level 2 already being put out there. What can happen there? Tornadoes, damaging winds of up to 60 miles an hour, and at least quarter-size hail. I've got a feeling this year as we get into this storm season, it's going to be one of the worst that we've had. We're already showing signs of it being bad. 25 lives lost in the state of Mississippi so far to tornadoes. Take heed whenever we talk about these. I know we bring it up a lot. No one ever wants to be called the guy who yelled wolf, but tornadoes are something to be scared of and respect them. We'll give you the latest information as they begin. As we look at this forecast, look at this, above average for the state of Mississippi and the Deep South. Well, except for today because it's 69. I know you're thinking that. You just didn't say it out loud. As we look at the 7-day forecast, here it is. By tomorrow, we're back to normal. Hot things again across the South. 77 on Thursday as the weekend arrives. Only a 20% chance all weekend long. So whatever event that you've got going on, it's going to be perfect to go over to as we go to Newton. We'll be getting ready for the Loose Caboose and, of course, the Taste and Sip here in Meridian there. It's going to be a big deal on Saturday afternoon. Talk about all that, sip and savor. As we see a high of 80 degrees, great for car shows and anything that you might be doing on Saturday. Sunday, 78 as we go off to church, and then more thunderstorms possibly on Monday on that outlook. As we go another week into April, let's go to the 12th. 85 degrees. Y'all see that? Ooh, on the 5th. Even on the 6th, we're still hovering at 84, but not getting below 75 on any of those days. So warm weather looks like it's right around the corner. Sometimes we get that little cool snap in April. I'm not seeing it just yet. As we jump ahead to find out what's happening with Chet, he tells us grab that rod and reel. You can be out there today right around 7 o'clock a few minutes from now through 9 o'clock. A great time to go fishing today. They're biting. This afternoon, it'll be right at dark, around 7 o'clock, and if you can stay to dark 30 about 9, it'll be great also. Check all that out. We got a great show coming up this morning. It all gets underway at 7 o'clock, and again, we'll go into details of what's gone on in our area over the last 48 hours to let you know what happened, what went on. All this up and coming this morning. LaWanda, how are you? Glad to see you there. Friday night, what's the timeline on Friday? They haven't given us an exact, they're saying Friday afternoon into Friday night at this point. It'll get more defined over the next 24 hours. We'll be able to give you an exact time on that, as close as we can get. Penelope, good morning. Glad to see you're up and at 'em. Again, we'll be back in roughly 15 minutes. Make sure to come back and join us for the latest and greatest, all happening here at the Scotty Ray Report. Good morning.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: